You posted one video where you taste something. You're an alcoholic. How do you define mommy wine culture?
It's hard for me.
Moms need wine to deal with their life after baby. My hobby became my career, so now I don't have a hobby. Moms can have wine, but it's like, no, moms need more help.
What do you think mommy wine culture is? I want to talk about an important topic, and it's so fucking crazy to me because yesterday on your story, you had just posted that you had something flagged for objectionable activity.
Oh my God.
And welcome to the OnlyMoms Podcast.
Thank you.
Oh, you guys, I'm so excited. We have Loryn Powell on the show today. She is a comedian, a self-proclaimed self-spurt, and a new mom. Mm-hmm. I honestly feel like we made this platform for you, right? Like moms, juice,
wine. Yeah.
I also was really shocked to hear in one of your recent videos where you said that you're truly a wine girl.
Oh yeah, people don't realize that because it's not necessarily like a viral video. I've tried. There aren't as many like unique flavors of wine coming out. So wine is just what I drink without reviewing. Like, nobody wants to see me review.
When you're off the clock.
You know, every red wine ever. Although, maybe in breathalyze at the end. That would be kind of amazing. But no, so that's what I drink. Like, I just don't make a big deal about it.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I love that. Well, we can make a big deal about it here.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
super excited to do that.
Yeah.
So those of you that are new to the show, OnlyMoms is sponsored by Mom Juice, a company that I co-founded. And if you have not seen Loryn Powell's videos, she does all the tastings. She has her breathalyzer. She guesses ABV. She does blind tasting. I mean, the whole experience for me is lovely.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. It's of all the trades I could have chosen, I think I chose well. Right. But if I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to review bread. Like, that's not nearly as cool as what I get to do.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, this is great. I think it's great. So, okay, let's start. We have to get your wine of choice in hand. But before we do that, you have to taste. Yeah. And you're going to guess the ABV.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right. So we're going to start.
Or if I can't figure out ABV, can I put them in order from lowest ABV wine to highest ABV wine?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I feel good about that.
In order?
Yeah.
All right. This is our Mom Juice Red Blend.
Okay.
Obviously, when you taste, I need you to give your actual opinion.
Okay, yeah. I'm not as wine snob. I love wine, but I'm not like, I do this, honestly, when I order a bottle of wine at a restaurant, I do this just so the waiter doesn't like judge me.
Oh, it's okay. I smell the glass for no judgment.
I do this, I'm like, yep, smells like wine, but I just love wine. I'm not a snob about it. Here we go. That's great. I love red wine. What's not to love?
Oh, it's
good. I like not super sweet wines. That's the other thing. Like, I feel like a lot of my audience is always like, my audience really likes sweet wines, and that's not my flavor profile at all. So I have to, like, a lot of times be more objective or, think about who is possibly watching this. But this is my type of wine right here.
Ooh. Yeah. So I don't play favorites, but right now I am playing Favorite Child with our red blend. That's my personal favorite right now.
That's good. That's good. And taste, okay. I'd have to taste the other red.
You want to try the other red next?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so I can get a better sense of which one I think is going to be boozier.
Okay, this is?
Okay, that's the blend. Where's the cab?
Now you have the cab.
Okay.
Mom Juice cab.
Ooh, that's smooth. Crap. Just from the very little wine knowledge I have, I would guess that the Cab Sauv is going to be the booziest over a red blend and the other two whites, or the rosé and the white, but I can't actually tell just by tasting it because it's so good. That's so smooth. Damn. Okay. All right. What's next? Yeah, I'm like trying to remember what that sommelier taught me about the legs, but you know.
Well, we went super backwards, so now we're going to keep going backwards and go into rosé.
Okay. I love a rosé. Rosé is my favorite. Rosé is what I used to order at restaurants before like seltzers came around.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it's easy.
It's easy. It just makes you feel
Fun.
cute.
You're
like,
so cutesy.
Yeah. That's good too. Yeah, that's real smooth. I don't even know if smooth is like a good quality you put in wine, but I'm like, you know what? There's no roadblock here. I always go by like chuggability. I could chug this.
Yeah.
The chuggability on this is off the charts.
We call it a porch pounder.
Oh, yeah. I could see why.
Yeah. And just all of a sudden you're drunk.
That is good. Yes. Okay. All right. So I think so far this is where I'm at. And then.
Okay. Cab, red blend. Okay. Let's do our Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah. Okay. That's nice. I am like the only person who doesn't like usually go for the New Zealand. Like I feel like all my friends love like the New Zealand Sauv Blanc. And to me, it just is a little like, you know, this one doesn't have that, which is nice.
Oh, so no.
Yeah.
I like that tasting note.
Yeah. Let the sommeliers that are listening, I'm sure they know exactly what I'm referring to.
We're the perfect match because have you ever seen the meme of the two women tasting wine and one is like, I'm getting hints of black cherry and the other one's in the back like, I'm getting drunk.
Yeah.
I'm getting drunk of the business partners. I'm not the snobby one. I have like a palate of good or bad wine.
Does this taste good?
Yeah.
Great. You know?
Let's go.
Yeah. And I recently just found out that like when they say wine has tasting notes of cocoa, I would literally my whole life I have gone around thinking that meant that they put like cocoa in the soil and that they grew the grapes with those tasting notes. And the sommelier was like, no, that's just like the closest thing that you can identify that tasting to. I'm like,
yeah.
What? I really didn't need to learn that. I want to go back to thinking that the grapes were like sleeping with cherry,
cocoa.
currants, cocoa, tobacco. I don't know what I was thinking was going on, but
I mean, it connects.
Okay, here's what I think.
Okay, I'm ready.
I think highest ABV is Cab Sauv.
Yep.
Am I already wrong?
Nope.
Okay. Second highest ABV is Red Blend.
Yep.
I think third is the Sauv Blanc. And last is Rosé. Am I wrong?
You did it!
Yay!
Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, so what one do you want to drink for the episode?
Well, the high ABV one, obviously.
I mean, you've had your lips on all of them. You can.
So they're all mine.
They're all yours.
Technically, I should go light to dark, right? So I should start with rosé and then end on my. How many glasses of wine do people usually drink on your podcast?
Depends on the conversation.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with rosé.
Yeah.
And then go dark.
But you already said you love rosé.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's move these out of your way.
Ooh. I almost moved them out of your way for me. Yeah.
These are yours. I'm pulling mine back.
Okay. You're doing the Sauv Blanc today?
Well, I had already been drinking the Sauv Blanc, and so I don't want to chug that to get rid of it.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't want to be all the way wasted for our interview.
Yeah, that's fair. Thank you.
Should
I breathalyze you? I want to know where you're
before
at.
and after. I actually have not had that much today.
Okay.
Yeah, because, we did a coffee thing, and then, so this is my first glass.
Okay.
Technically.
Well,
yeah.
I see the clock, and I will see how long it takes me to drink this glass of rosé. I love a good rosé.
Well, I mean, you don't even.
It feels like happy hour. It's Friday. I'm like,
it is. This is happy hour for you. I try to book you at happy hour. Depends on the time zone.
Good. That is that's my rider. My list is like, I will only work during happy hour.
During happy hour. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Okay. Well, I think that, we've had a good start. We have our wine.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh. Yeah. Especially because you're a new mom now.
Yeah.
How is that going?
It is the most surprising thing of my life.
Yeah.
Because, and you just had a baby too, right?
I did.
I know you have like kids, but this was like your first baby, right?
She's 16 months. How old's Quinn?
Gosh, okay. Quinn is 10 months. But I was listening to your podcast the whole way up here.
Oh!
And so I'm like, in my mind, you just had your baby. Like the episode I'm on, you just had her.
Pretty much.
So 18, 16 months, what'd you say?
16.
16 months. Okay, yeah. So you're way ahead of me. Okay.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't say way ahead, but definitely the 6 month difference in milestones of like what they're actually doing. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah, really?
So, yeah.
Yeah. So most surprising thing in just that, like, before I had a babe, you know, I was always like, if I'm going to have kids, fine. I've never been around kids.
Okay.
So I was never a baby person, and people are always like, oh, one day you're just going to have that, like, you're going to love babies. It just happens genetically. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm not sure that's true, but sure. And it still never happened where I never noticed other people's babies. I never was like, oh my God, baby. Like, I've never had that. And then I had my baby. And I don't know that I'm like that about other people's babies, but I am freaking obsessed with my baby.
Yeah.
And it's so surprising to be someone who's not a baby person, to not really, I thought like, oh, I'll probably be like, she's going to be cool when she's a toddler and is communicating and playing. Like, that's where I saw my like mom relationship kind of blooming or blossoming. And no, like baby
Obsessed.
So that was really shocking for me.
Yeah, no, I'm also obsessed. It's just natural obsession. Yeah. But she's adorable and she's great. I think mine was, I knew I would have kids someday, but it wasn't this like earning, like I wasn't itching for it.
Yeah.
Mine was more when I found my husband, it was like more of an animal instinct. Like, I found someone to breed with.
Yeah. This DNA needs to continue.
I will have a baby with you.
Yeah. Very primitive.
Yeah. And then I was like, I need a baby with you.
Right.
So it was very specific for me. But my mom would always say, I only like my kids.
Right.
You're probably one of those.
Probably. I am noticing babies more though.
Right.
Where I'm like, and like, especially like having traveled with her and having strangers be so nice to Quinn and help her smile on a plane to like keep her entertained. I'm trying to like pay that forward and repay that favor. Whereas before, if I was on a plane and there was a baby like looking at me, I would just ignore it. Now I'm like, oh, let me take some heat off that mom for a second, entertain this baby, you know, for a minute before it goes back to its mom. Like, so I am noticing children so much more now than before. So she's done that for me.
They also say that you don't hear, specifically to a plane, right? You don't hear babies cry in a way that you used to, where now it's just our mom brain almost tunes out. You're not even upset about that baby crying on the plane anymore. It doesn't exist.
All I'm thinking about is that mom.
Yes.
Or the parent, you know? And I'm just like, oh, this must be so hard for them. Because now I've been through it.
Yeah. I listened to your travel podcast with your husband, and have you guys traveled since then?
Okay. Yeah, we just did. Actually, we just got back from Mexico with her.
Okay.
And before that, we went to Michigan. So she's been on like 8 airplanes.
Wonderful.
And it gets harder as she's more active. Like now she's crawling everywhere. So this Mexico one, she just wanted to play and fidget, and we're like, we were on this like Mexican airline because in San Diego you can fly out of Tijuana, which like in theory it saves you time at customs when you get to Cabo because you've already gone through customs. But we ended up getting like trapped in the Tijuana airport for a full day. So I'm in the airport lounge. Thank God they had an airport lounge. My baby is like, I'm a first time mom, and like I'm crazy about germs because of it. Yeah. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know what? We have 12 hours in this airport. I'm going to let her crawl around on the floor. So I did. Yep. And she got a rash all over her face at the end of the day.
On her face?
All over.
Of course she would.
And so then we're on this airplane and it's like so small. And there's the guy in front of our row who's like just has to lean his seat back so he can nap on a hour and a half flight in the middle of the day. I'm like, sorry, my kid is going to like pound on your chair. Yeah. You're halfway in my row right now. Like, and she's just so active, but it's, so it was a lot easier flying with her when she was not active.
Yeah. If I don't know about the plane you were just on, but on the regular airlines, if you book the seat where the stewardess sits, you actually, because it's 2 seats and then the stewardess sits backwards. So in that area, there's a spot that you could put blankets on the floor and put her. And also the stewardess seat doesn't allow toys to roll backwards. So you can put toys on the floor right there.
What stewardess seat are you talking about?
So in front of the exit row, because you can't have babies in the exit row. So in front of the exit row where the flight attendant actually sits.
I've never, what airplanes?
I'm an American.
I've literally never seen flight attendants not sit by the entrance, like behind the little, in their secret area.
Yeah, there's usually, if the plane is big enough, there's a center seat as well.
Wow.
And I believe it's right in front of the exit row. But that works wonders when you have that crawling stage. Once they're walking, you need to get up and walk them in the aisle. But yeah. So your next flight, just look for it.
Honestly, this was the first flight we've probably wasted so much money, but I don't care, on flying like business class, because I was just had so much anxiety, and I was like, I just this, because like, you know, we can nap. Sean, my husband, would like stand with her because we had so much space, and like, so she would nap in the carrier while he was standing. This was the first flight, and it was just comical because it was like, not only were we not in business class, we were like packed in like sardines. I was like, this is just funny. Can't do anything but laugh.
Right.
But anyway.
Thank God it was a short flight.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about new mom anxiety. I think that's a really good topic for new moms.
What do you want to know? I could talk for
What
days
else?
about
What else are you getting anxiety about?
If not germs, then, milestones. If not, like, oh, she's doing this weird thing with her wrists. Let me Google it. Is this normal? Like just the videos I get served on the internet are, make sure you don't say this to them when you don't want them to bite, or don't say this when you don't want them to throw their plate off the high chair. And I'm like, okay, don't say that. Okay, don't say that. Well,
what am I supposed to say?
Like, how did my mom survive?
I don't know.
And so then I'm like, why am I listening to these people? I don't know their background. I don't know their qualifications. We don't have the studies yet on whether or not you shouldn't say no, don't throw your plate. So, that gives me anxiety because it's just in your face
all the time. It's an overload of information.
Overload.
I feel like my biggest like anxiety thing was the car seat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because my daughter hates her reverse facing car seat. And I'm telling you, to get home on maybe a 20-minute ride, it would take me an hour and a half. I would pull over, I would get her out, I would sit in the back with her if she's crying, I would breastfeed her, do the whole thing, change her diaper, everything. Yeah. I would stop 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. I still sit in the back. When my husband drives, I'm still in the back. She's 10 months old and I'm in the back just in case she starts fussing.
No, same. I didn't know. Like, wait, when are we supposed to transition to the front?
Are you still in the back?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, thank God. Oh, great. So I never have to sit in the front again is what I'm hearing?
We are being chauffeured around. This is no more passenger princess. This is, you are an Uber, my friend.
Excuse me. No, you drive. He's like, do you want to drive? I'm like, no, because I have to be in her face. Like, she needs me back here.
This is survival.
Yeah. And like, honestly, same thing with the car seat. Even just clipping her in the beginning, I didn't clip her in. Like, my husband, he did all the research. I made him watch all the videos on how to do it. And then I didn't feel comfortable clipping her in. I was afraid I was going to do it wrong. You get those like, what's it called when you like, you just see everything possible that could go wrong.
Oh God, I don't know the term, but it happens all the time.
Like I'll just think about, if I don't clip her in correctly and we crash and she's not
neck.
Yeah.
And did you know they can't have a jacket on in the car seat?
It's too fluffy.
Yeah. Neck support.
Oh.
I don't know. If it's too fluffy and if something happens, the neck will snap.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
I don't know. Everything, I feel like the neck's going to snap.
The neck is so delicate.
It's so delicate.
In San Diego, she doesn't have to wear a lot of coats, so we're okay. We're okay.
Yeah, you guys are good. By the way, North Carolina.
I know.
I'm North Carolina too.
So do you live in Charlotte?
Yes.
Okay. I moved to North Carolina when I started high school. My parents still live there. So I did high school, college, North Carolina. Parents still live in Fayetteville.
Okay.
And all my friends, like I was just in Charlotte a month ago for a baby shower. Like
wow.
All my best friends from college still live in North Carolina.
Do you think you guys will stay out here?
We love California. We love Southern California. We love San Diego. It is hard when we go back to Michigan, which is where my husband's from, or we go back to North Carolina. Maybe not North Carolina anymore. But when you go back and you see like, oh, these are really big yards.
Yeah.
And really big houses, and your houses aren't so close to each other. And so you see how much more maybe your dollar can go. Every now and then I get that, like, why are we forcing ourselves to stay here? But we love San Diego. I lived in LA for 11 years. I'll never go back to LA with a kid.
Yeah. That's aggressive.
But I do see, like, I don't know that we would end up back in North Carolina though.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Charlotte is just like through the roof anyway. There is no like, oh, you found a good deal in Charlotte on a house. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah. It's rough right now.
Insane.
It's insane right now. Yeah.
It's like California prices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But everyone started moving there after the pandemic. I mean, we had a rapidly growing city for a long time.
Yeah.
But the pandemic really, people started looking for more space.
Yeah.
And, my husband's offices are in New York. And so it's very easy for him to get on a plane with our airport, being as large as it, and an hour and a half commute to New York.
It's just so
and
convenient.
so now everyone wants to do that.
Oh. Do you know, have you heard who just
Moved to Charlotte?
Or is moving and is looking for a personal assistant and enrolled, like put a deposit down on like Charlotte Day or something?
Is it Blake Lively?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it true?
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
So
which makes sense because they are New Yorkers.
What I'm seeing, it's true. And they supposedly have a friend that lives there.
Sure. Don't we all have friends that live everywhere?
I mean, I'm your
I have
friend.
a friend in every state.
I live there.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
You should. Did you just put a
Can
deposit down?
Yeah, apparently. Although it's like college education level pricing for kindergarten.
I'll let you know if there's any sightings.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
I told my friend she should apply to be her personal assistant that she was looking for.
I might apply.
Yeah. It was you. I told you.
Yeah, I'm the friend in Charlotte you told to apply.
Yeah.
No, actually, I don't want my assistant to hear that. And she's going to get an immediate link of this episode afterwards. So we're going to take her email off. She can't
take
leave
that out.
me. Yeah. I want to talk about an important topic, and it's so fucking crazy to me because yesterday on your story, you had just posted that you had something flagged for objectionable activity.
Oh my God.
Welcome to season 2 of OnlyMoms. And I can't kick things off without a little treat from my favorites. So, if you're new around here, let me fill you in. 4 years ago, with my amazing business partner, Kristen Taylor, I co-founded Mom Juice. We're all about keeping the bullshit out of wine, literally. We're gluten-free and vegetarian. We also practice ingredient transparency by putting all of our ingredients on the back of the bottle. I know you might be giggling, but not all wine is vegetarian, okay? So you might just be drinking fish bladder, but that's none of my business. Here's the fun part. As your Only Mom sponsor, I'm here to hook you up with 20% off your next order. Just head over to momjuicewine.com and use promo code ONLYMOMS to go and treat yourself. You deserve it. Wait, do you have your phone? I need to show these people what this photo was.
Yeah, I do. Okay. So.
Okay, we're going to have to zoom in, but you have to show everyone what you were flagged for. This is the photo. Yeah.
You see it?
That looks like every day in my life.
So it's just me holding my daughter, and I'm standing next to my friend who has her, she's like 8 weeks old in a baby carrier, and we're both holding a glass of wine.
Right.
And it was like, so I posted this in like a carousel photo. This was like the 9th photo. So towards the end. And I got like a notification that was like, this photo has been flagged for violating our policies. The policy that it's flagging is objectionable activity. And what it probably means, it either means that Instagram's algorithm detected something, which is bullshit, or it means multiple people
reported it.
Right.
And that's the conversation I want to have is mommy wine culture.
I'm new to this.
Okay. Let me reverse this. Has your husband's photo holding Quinn with a beer ever been flagged?
Nope.
No.
Multiple photos of him holding her and a beer.
God.
Her reaching for the beer glass, and nothing.
My fly was undone.
I knew I should have breathalyzed you before we started.
I know.
I should have.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
been in multiple photos holding beer with Quinn.
Never has anyone reported those photos. And I'm just like, I'm very careful not to I know I make drinking content, and it's already so edgy, and people have opinions about drinking in general. And I know the crossover with alcohol and moms is a little touchy. So I have already done like what I think is a pretty good job of like, if I'm making a video about alcohol, I don't put Quinn in the video. Mm-hmm. If I'm making a video about Quinn, I don't put alcohol in the video. With the exception of like a candy corn whiskey that I tried because I put her in a candy corn costume and she was so freaking cute.
You can't not.
And I was just sipping, like it wasn't like, especially if I do breathalyzer videos, Quinn is not in that.
Right.
Anywhere. Like she's not in that content. And so this is probably the first photo I'd posted of, because it's me and my friend and her new baby, like back to the way we used to like have wine in her backyard and do family dinner with our babies and our families that we were starting. And so for that to get flagged, I'm like, oh, right. This is why I just cannot believe that somebody scrolled all the way to the end of that carousel post, multiple people. Because I think Instagram only will do something if more than one person like reports it.
Yeah. You have this brand and you've built yourself, like you have this dream job that we would call a dream job, right? Yeah. And it's so awesome. But you're right. The intersection of the two, motherhood and drinking, is you don't want to blur the lines. Right. And with us having Mom Juice, we work very hard. Yeah. Also, we have a very cuspy brand. Her voice is sarcastic. We like to say we cheers to the chaos of motherhood, right? It's fucking chaotic, but it's not in any way promoting alcoholism. It's not promoting you drinking and driving. Right. And we're never saying to drink alone, to drown your work. Yeah, it's not a coping mechanism.
That must be really hard for you guys.
It's very hard. I think it's hard for the both of us. Yeah. But, before this conversation, I surveyed my audience. And every single person that responded was a mom who enjoys having a glass of wine a few times or maybe every day of the week that actually feels judged because of this new mommy wine culture. I didn't have one person in my inbox saying that they felt like we were pushing this on them. It was the other way around.
So how do you define mommy wine culture?
It's hard for me. I think that there is, the way it is defined is moms using wine to cope with the hardship of motherhood. And in no way is anyone asking if this is something that they enjoyed pre-baby or, things like that. And so I have a very negative view of mommy wine culture, one that I wish that we could flip the narrative, simply because, example, I go on a business trip and my husband is carrying around our daughter in the front pack, decides to walk around the neighborhood with a beer, mind you. And at the Christmas party for our neighborhood, I am telling you, every single mom came up to me, were you on a trip recently? We saw your husband.
Stop. You must have been gone.
You were gone. I'm telling you, I walk that baby every day.
Oh my God.
No one was applauding me.
Can't take it. And heaven forbid you walk around with her and a beverage.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I definitely feel like I'm more focused on the fact that when I'm asked that in interviews about mommy wine culture, I always flip it and I ask when the last time they asked the male that they were interviewing, that is the owner of a wine brand, about pushing the product on men that are dads, or when are they going to stop asking dads? When are they going to start asking dads to stop drinking beer?
Right. Never.
Yeah. What do you think mommy wine culture is?
It's interesting. I just saw an article. I had never really questioned it, right? All I know from my end is the internet seems to think, the internet already, my community aside, where if a video of mine just goes to my community for the most part, I guess they're secretly reporting me and I didn't know about it. But for the most part, everyone is like, yes, we drink. And then I got pregnant and had a baby and people were like, yay, join us. We are moms. We've been moms and we love your videos because we love knowing about new drinks to have with our friends. And like, I thought people were going to leave me because no one was interested in mom content. And turns out all my audience had kids. Like they were like, we were waiting for you to like, you know, join this
Cheers to the freaking moms.
Yeah.
Come on.
They have been amazing. But every now and then, you know, when stuff goes viral, people assume my mom stuff is like, before I became a mom, I already was getting comments that were like, oh, you posted one video where you taste something, you're an alcoholic. There's such a stigma where people who don't know that there are ways to socially drink and that not everyone, it's like a smaller amount of people have a problem than the people that do it responsibly. And so I already knew that the internet was touchy about drinking and just thinking, oh, one glass of wine, you're an alcoholic. Like I already was like ready for that. The mom stuff, I guess that was so surprise. I and especially the mom and dad disparity. But I guess I guess I knew it was coming because I've tried to never show alcohol and my baby at the same time. But so what mommy wine culture, I just saw this article that was like, I think we need to stop saying, you know, moms need wine to deal with their life after baby. Moms can have wine, but it's like, no, moms need more help. Moms need someone else to take the mental load off of them or someone else to know, you know. So that was the first time I'd ever really thought. I just kind of accepted, oh, mommy wine culture. Yeah. Haha, that's funny. Mom juice, mom water, whatever. Now I see, oh, we've started like making women feel like, oh, you know, children are so hard, you have to drink. Yes. And that I don't think is how it is at all.
No.
Like I've had a glass of wine at the end of a day before having kids.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Case in point.
Yeah.
So no, I found that interesting. I do want to know the video, you had done some blind tastings with your husband and the comments.
Oh my God.
Are vastly different.
Oh yeah. Was this, it was before I got pregnant. So
that was my question.
It was wine.
When it was before you were a mom.
Yeah.
So you still had already been experiencing the male to female pressures of drinking.
So I'm pretty sure it was wine. And I split the videos up because I put everything on Facebook, long form, I put them together. And then TikTok, I split things up. And so I'm pretty sure we were blind tasting expensive wines and cheap wines. And they were like, it was like a $5 versus like a $500 bottle. And I think if it wasn't both in the wine, maybe because we've also done blind ranking I think with
one
whiskey.
One was champagne.
Okay.
And one was, the ones that I had watched were champagne and wine.
So there's one where he guessed incorrectly.
Right.
And could not figure out, he thought the cheap bottle was the expensive bottle. And the internet was just like, oh man, he just, you know, like he's just so, he doesn't waste his money.
Right, they said he knew the value of the dollar.
Yeah, something like all that. And then I get it right.
God forbid.
I get it right. And people hate me. Like people are like, man, I haven't thought about this in a while, honestly. But yeah, they were saying like, oh, she's a gold digger. Because like, so it was just completely like, I don't know. That was the first experience. That was the first taste of like the internet reacting to my husband. I think I just butchered this. Do you remember what it was?
There was one where they said that you were a gold digger or things like that. And then there was one where they said you had bad taste when you actually had gotten one. What was the one where you got it right?
But I think, I'm trying to remember, there's one, I can't remember if he also got it right and people were like, wow, what a stud. He can figure it out. And then when I get it right, I'm a gold digger. I just waste money on things. There's no, a $500 bottle of wine, who cares? Like, blah, 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 blah. Like no one was impressed that I could figure out a $500 bottle of wine, but were impressed when he could. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. It was. And then, they said for the $500 bottle of champagne that he knows the value of the dollar and that, and you have bad taste.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then exactly when it was red wine and he was like, I think this is the expensive one and it was the cheap one, I got all the hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, back in the day, we were the homemakers. We had a different, I feel like a lot of people still view women in this way when now, and I don't know your situation, but women are breadwinners. Women are, we're expected to do almost all of it now.
Right.
Right. And is that strange to you?
What's strange is maybe I don't know why I put this pressure on myself. Maybe it is because society has told me that I should. Right?
Or is it our personality? Who knows?
Or is it our personality?
Right. I'm aggressive.
I'm type A. I want to plan. I'm like, I put all of the, the baby stuff, which certainly is coming more to the head now that she's getting a little bit older. But it's like, I think of all my brain power goes to thinking about her and thinking about what I need to buy for travel. Or we're going to Mexico with her. Okay, I got to make sure I have enough diapers. I've run through the whole list of everything she could possibly need.
Yep.
And then my husband is like, I'm going to go golfing. I'm going to work out.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't even have the brain power to think of hobbies on that survey. You asked us a survey and you're like, what do you like to do for fun? And I'm like, girl, give me an idea.
Yeah.
I would love I don't know what hobbies are anymore. We're
going to have to change that to multiple choice.
I need some suggestions because I can't just put happy hour. But it's like my husband has no problem finding the things that bring him joy where I am like, well, in every waking extra minute I have, I'm thinking about what she needs.
Yeah.
Or my career. And I'm not thinking about my personal goals.
Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even for example, on this trip, I came, the front end of LA for me was representing my husband as his spouse at all of his work things. Great. Then I had my work stuff. I'm coming with the baby and my mom, and then we're flying to Colorado after this. I don't go home until the 18th. So I'm packing for the both of us. I'm figuring out all of this, and he, is living his best.
His brain is not, there's no space taken up.
Yes.
By the same things that are taken up in our brain.
Right. But in the amount of things I forgot for myself, even. Do I have a swimsuit? No, but the baby has 3.
Right.
Like I have one workout outfit for 2 weeks.
I applaud you.
Where am I going to wash these clothes?
Right.
I'm just not going to work out now.
Darn.
There goes my mental, one thing,
right?
Out the window.
Right.
And it's like, and he was like, well, I guess you're just going to go buy a swimsuit. And I was like, you know what, motherfucker?
I am.
Yeah. But I get you on that. And I have a great husband. It's funny because I shit talk him a lot on here. And I have a really awesome husband that does help. And he doesn't care if I buy a swimsuit. But still, we have no time.
Yeah. My husband is very same. He's so supportive and he's like, okay, I'm going to go golf. What would you like to do this week? And I'm like, I don't know. And that's the problem. And I'm jealous that you have things that you want to go do outside of just raising a baby, right? There's that resentment. And I have no one to blame because he wants to give me those opportunities to go have that time. And I don't know what to do with those opportunities.
I don't have enough space to organize to tell him what to do.
Yeah.
Is what I think happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Because my husband will come to me and offer his availability in the moment to help. And sometimes I feel like I have so many tabs open, I don't even have a moment to give him the list.
Yeah.
It's going to take me longer.
It's easier to do it yourself sometimes.
Yeah. And it is. I think, we've gone through so many eras. Like as millennials, we have seen the moms that work at home. Then we've seen the moms that are out in the workforce. Then we saw the boss girl era. And then it's trying to scale back from that. Now we're in our mental health era. I don't know. I can't keep track.
I don't know what era I'm in.
wine.
The arrows are circling around me. Yeah, I am like
toddlers.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily know how to grasp the balance of, is this me doing this to myself? Is this a societal pressure of us wanting to do it all?
Right. I was thinking about that. People say mom guilt. You have mom guilt. You feel like for example, I literally cannot figure out when, like, working out is just not on my radar right now.
That's fine.
Because I'm like, if I work out, so I work from home. I have the luxury of working from home. My husband also works from home, and we have a nanny. And so I get to see Quinn throughout the day if I want to, but then I get to go work. And I have this weird feeling like when the nanny gets there, Sean gets on the treadmill. And I'm like, I go to work. I go and I sit down on my computer. He actually works for the breathalyzer company. And I work for myself. And so I take all the hours that are available to me and I put them towards working for myself because I have to, because I don't know where the money is always coming from. It's not guaranteed. And then, but he has no problem. So I feel weird working out while the nanny is on the clock. But then I also don't want to work out after hours because that's when I want to spend time with her.
Right.
And he has no problem working out while the nanny's there, working out afterward and just putting Quinn. He's like, I'll watch her while I work out. I'm like, well, that's not engaging for her. Like, I'll just go watch her myself.
Right.
Like he comes up with all these solutions, but I am like, no, this just isn't the time that I'm in right now where I'm going to find time to work out. Is that mom guilt? And I just don't even know it.
It's I think a little bit of mom guilt, but I personally, because I've gone through that, it's just where you want to allocate your time in that moment, and you're willing to sacrifice yourself until you're ready. And I understand that it's hard for me to find that balance. And there are some nights I actually go to bed and I look at my husband and I'm like, I'm gonna be a stay-at-home wife tomorrow. Yeah, like I'm done. Yeah, I've quit. Yeah. And he's like, it's okay. I don't know if it's like the acceptance I want from him of like, yes, honey. I just want you to like, yeah. Do you realize everything, all of my brain power is not for myself? Even the logistics of scheduling household staff, like it's such a privilege to have a nanny or, a part-time, what I've been doing, because now I have started working out because I'm like, I have to stop feeling like shit about myself. I know, right? Which like, I feel like you create your own content and you get to control your angles. Like I have PR taking random ass photos of me and I'm like, hell no. Yeah. Right? Like absolutely not. Why is my corset sticking out? Yeah. That's not cute. I don't know. Fly undone. Who knows? Yeah. You see, even when I control my own shit, it's not that good. No, I know what you're saying. It's like, I get to edit and make sure the best version of me is presented, But now I have my full-time nanny coming Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Oh, wow. Yeah. So that at 8 a.m., I've already had breakfast with her, spent some nice time. Right. Taken my pre-workout. That is the key thing. I take my pre-workout 10 minutes before the nanny clocks in because now I feel like I'm itching like a crackhead. And if I don't go work out, this isn't going to work out for me the rest of the day. Okay, good to know. So now like I'm forcing myself by doing that because initially when I scheduled her earlier to come in instead of 9:30, I started just like, you can do the dishes and I'm going to still hang out with my baby. Oh, yeah. So I don't know the answers. I do think that there's no true way to find balance, and every day you're going to give the best percentage, say 100% at being yourself for your job, and 100% the next day at being a mom and finding, room to give yourself grace in the other categories. It's the other categories are the ones where I'm like, what are you now? I have mom, I have career. I focus on career, I focus on mom. And then when are you a wife? What else do I have? Oh yeah, wife. Forgot about that one. I see how people get divorced. Sean. Like, like we get along, but he doesn't get he's like my dog. He doesn't get nearly as much attention as he used to. Sit, stay. Like, I'll be back in a week. Yeah. I'm like, like he literally probably needs affection, and I am not giving him I didn't even think about like being a wife. I've completely neglected. I'm sure he's fine. He's doing great. He's doing great. He's having a good time. Yeah. But also another added category of why I see so many people could not make it. sometimes through this chapter, or sometimes have to go to therapy for almost a wake-up call of like, oh, wait.
Right.
And then how do you give her room to be a wife? Like, when does she get to transition the roles?
Right. Right.
There's a lot. We're unpacking a lot. We need to drink more.
Yeah, let's have.
Yeah.
I heard the little timer, but I got a lot more to say.
It's gonna be a long one.
It's gonna be. What else do you have to say?
No, I don't know. I just feel like this feels like therapy. You know,
This is good.
because like I've done, you know, my podcast with my husband is different because our experience is very different having a baby, and so I don't often get to commiserate, or maybe not commiserate necessarily, but like talk about just the mom stuff. You know, everyone said, oh, it's the cutest thing when you see your husband with holding their baby for the first time and you see like how special. And Sean was like, this has ruined my life. Oh! Like, oh man, I have to hold this baby, won't stop crying. Yeah, it's a baby.
Yeah, well,
I'm like, you're surprised? And so we had this conversation. I was like, look, I had 9 months of realizing my life had changed. And social things had slowed down because I couldn't drink and I didn't want to go be around drunk people. You know, it's not fun when you're sober. No. And so I was I wasn't thrust into it the same way he was, where suddenly
next day
his hands are full. He can't scroll his phone, which is not important things he needed to do anyway.
but it's the change.
It was very jarring. But I think he was told, there was going to be this magical moment for him. And that everybody said having a baby was just so special. And so when it wasn't so special, when it actually was hard and challenging, he was like, wait, everyone says that this is one thing and it's actually kind of a mess and it takes a lot of work. Maybe he was like misled into how he was supposed to feel. But then so everyone told me there was going to be this like really adorable moment, and I never had that. Which, whatever.
I mean, the baby is adorable.
She's adorable, but
she's out of control.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so
but
cute.
the two of you, it's like fucking survival day 160 on the island.
Right.
I'm surprised I'm alive.
Yeah, exactly. And well, thankfully, I finally had my moment in Mexico. Quinn's 10 months old, and Sean, she like loves to move, right? And so Sean, we were at this rooftop bar another thing I probably need to learn is how to book age-appropriate hotels for yourself, like family. No, I booked a bougie hotel that looked really cute and that I thought would be great for me and Sean. It was not child-friendly, but she's 10 months old. I was like, what's she gonna? She can't play on things.
Pulling on things.
So everyone at the hotel was like, couples having sexy time. Like, it was very romantic. And so we go to this rooftop bar at this hotel, and it's chic and it's so cool. There's a little DJ, and I'm there. It's still 7 o'clock. So I was like, I got a baby to entertain for another hour. Yeah. She's coming with us. So we're at this rooftop bar, and yes, the DJ's playing this music, and Sean's trying to keep her happy. So he goes and he's just walking her around the bar, like dancing with her in his arms. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cute. Like, I'm gonna film that and show that to her on her like wedding day. Like, that was the moment of like, he was dancing with his daughter. Like, I feel like he finally got there, and he got his moment. I got my moment of watching his moment. It only took 10 months.
I love that though. Yeah. I mean, it does take a second to transition. And I feel like with the first one, no one can really prepare you. Even my husband, I have stepchildren. And so he was trying his best, but I'm telling you, doing wild shit while I was pregnant, like still filming podcasts up until due date. I've signed a franchise agreement that like giving me the rights to the entire state of North Carolina for this particular franchise while I was pregnant. And now I'm like,
why did I do that?
What the fuck was I doing? Why was I so ambitious?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And just random things. And even like a night, he's like, no, like you should just interview these people. And if you don't like them, once the baby's here, then let them go. Yeah. Right. But I thought it was one of the things I was dying at in one of your podcast interviews. You said, we thought we would work from home without childcare.
The dumbest thing we've ever said.
Because you both work from home, then you can just have her there.
Yeah.
And still work full time. Yeah. Both of you.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
That was, so I distinctly, right. So everything about being pregnant and trying to have a baby, because we had a couple of losses, and I just had all of this realization leading up to having the baby that like it's all on the woman. Up until like the dad can do something when the child comes and he can actually help, because when you're pregnant, you're making this baby. You're making this baby.
Us.
And you're still working and you're making a baby. And if you have a loss, your body is going through crazy things when you're passing a miscarriage or like all these things. To have his baby, to have your baby together and nothing hormonal changes. And so I got really like, wow, there is this clear division of like to have a baby, it all falls on the woman. And I remember thinking like, okay, Sean gets 8 weeks paternity leave. Well, I'm only taking 8 weeks maternity leave, even though I work for myself. So I set my own, whatever that means. But I was like, I'm not taking anything longer, because I will only do, if he's only going to be there for 8 weeks, then I will only be there for 8 weeks. But then after that, I was like, oh my God, I want to stay with her forever. Yeah. I mean, obviously I want to have my career and do my things.
Of course.
But that was like a comical that so 8 week, both of our leaves ended and we didn't have anything lined up, because we just kind of thought we could ease into it. And like, especially because I do make my own schedule, I thought maybe one video a week could kind of get me back in there, and we would take turns helping her get down for a nap. And it was just like, we did it for like 2 weeks and we were like, oh my God, his job is suffering. He's back at work, but he's neglecting a lot of his responsibilities. I have no energy to do anything creative. Yeah. Especially when you if you work for yourself, you have to come up with the things.
You can't bounce right into that.
No.
I need to grab you more wine.
Yeah. I'm getting very heated. I'm sorry. I don't know what this is, but good luck. I think it's the blend. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that was like, I guess we need to figure out childcare. But then I wasn't ready. You know, we interviewed this one nanny, and she was a little bit older, and I was like, I don't think this is going to be right, because I feel like she's going to walk out one day and see me in the kitchen drinking wine in front of a camera and be like, I'm watching your baby while you do that. And so I was like, this is just not the right fit. Yep. Because I am already feeling judged, even though she's never said has given, I just was prejudging myself, feeling weird, having someone in my house watch my baby while I drink on camera. Yeah. Which, to be fair, I only do literally once a week. The rest of the week I'm editing and doing everything else. Like, the amount that people think I drink is actually probably higher, but not on camera, I guess. Yeah. So we quickly had to figure that was there is no, I don't know how the mom influencers do it. And when I say mom influencer, I mean the people who chose to be a stay-at-home mom. Yes. And now are finding revenue in reviewing baby products or clothing. They have their to know it. I think I'm how are you doing that? And having the baby at home.
I wonder if some of them, maybe I should have one of them on, because I wonder if some of them get some part-time help. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. At least to just do, the editing alone, geez Louise.
Takes forever. Yeah.
No, I did think that was hilarious. I think there are a lot of things when you're a new mom that you don't really understand the reality of what you're going to be propelled into. Yeah. Of course, the men, it's no idea, because we have the nesting of 9 months. But yeah, I'm glad you guys found a nanny. Yeah. And we're seeing you back.
I love my nanny. She loves her. And I had, there was some moments of, is this child going to know the nanny more than they know me? Did you have that?
I definitely, yes. I had that. And I think it was less of my own thoughts and more of other people's opinions. Really? My mom had a very strong opinion every time I brought it up of us having a night nurse.
We had a night nurse too, and it's the best money well spent. Ever. I'm not even thinking about that money a year later.
Yeah. In my, not even in my defense, we thought that our daughter had cystic fibrosis in the beginning. We're both carriers. Wow. And for me, the thought of knowing if my daughter is breathing, on a different level of just being a new parent, was so frightening to me. I already wasn't sleeping before she got here, right? And so I started interviewing actual nurses that had that background, that they're used to dealing with this. You know, they're familiar. Just have someone familiar in the house.
Yeah.
You know? And my mom was and that generation was very much like, you're not going to raise your own child.
You're not going to suffer through it yourself or something.
And you want to know what's crazy is that when she was awake, usually they brought her to me to breastfeed. And so it wasn't like I wasn't with her in the night.
Right.
You know, and then when she was asleep, they were just in the room with her. And thank God she didn't have that medical condition. Yeah. But I think also too with the nanny, it was the same thing. It was other people's judgment.
But how is it any different than daycare?
Exactly.
Except this child gets one-on-one attention all day.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying one is better than the other.
There's advantages to both.
Yes, because now I'm working on socialization and all the things. But I think I also had a big insecurity where I fit in as a mom because I became a stepmom first. Yeah. And a lot of the moms, when I would go to the school events and do the things, I'm the youngest one there.
Okay.
And then the moms that are...
Because your kids are...
The seniors in high school.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so, and then in my neighborhood, all the moms are stay-at-home moms. So I almost felt... And now I have built relationships with these stay-at-home moms, but I definitely felt like I was the one out of place everywhere that I went as a mom.
Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is, even if you didn't have a nanny or you weren't working for yourself, if you were leaving, because all the other moms are doing stay-at-home moms, if you were leaving every day to go to a 9 to 5, you would still get judged. Yeah. It sounds like.
Yes. And I had to finally have someone tell me, like, you are going to feel this way no matter what the situation is. Like, everyone has an opinion, and you need to do what's best for your family. And if that means this or that or whatever, then it's no one's business. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I confidently, finally brought my full-time nanny in Monday through Friday of the hours I told you, and then brought on a part-time nanny for Friday. And guess what? The part-time nanny comes in on Saturday, and I wake up, I spend time with my daughter, and then she comes in while I go to the gym and while I shower and get ready for the day. And by God, those 3 hours makes me the best fucking mom when I am released into the wild. Right. And that's what works for me.
Right. That's the other part. I'm like, I know I want her, you know, I want to be the best version of myself for her. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to walk around with like resentment because I don't know what my hobbies are, or I don't have the like any motivation to like work out right now. So I need but I want her to like get the best version of me. Yeah. And I will figure out how I fit that into my schedule, and hopefully won't have the guilt of like, I don't know. Honestly, I'm like, okay, if it's going to cut into my schedule, maybe I'll just cut it into the end of my work day where I don't feel like I'm productive anyway and I'm burnt out. So maybe I'll just go get some exercise in before I get to be with her.
But also give yourself grace. You're still so early.
Yeah.
You know, and like 10 months and 16 months doesn't sound, like we said, like a huge jump.
Yeah.
But it definitely is. And she still is in a stage of like wanting you and needing you. And you know what she needs best.
Right.
Right. And give yourself grace. Yeah. You'll do it when it's time. You look fucking great. Who cares?
I know. I'm not. And it's the thing. It's like, I am not hard on myself because I'm like, how many times as women have we gained and lost weight or gotten in and out of shape over the course of, I know I can.
All the time.
I'm not worried about it. I know when I'm ready to like put, you know, the work in to like exercise. I know that I'll like do it because I want to do it, not because I feel like I'm forced to have to do it. I'm very, and I don't want anyone who's ever listening to be like, oh, I'm supposed to be working out right after I have a baby, or like everyone's bounces back, or I saw this mom influencer bounce back. Well, it's probably genetics.
Yeah.
Like nobody is like working out.
And there's age.
Right.
There's so many things.
There's so many things. You don't know what's going on.
Right.
So I am very like, I don't feel bad about not working out. I think it's more, I wish I knew what I wanted to do with my time that wasn't mom, career, wife. I don't know what my and also like my passion is my career.
Did you?
And now
so
my
that was
passion
my
is my
next
child.
question. Did you have hobbies before? Quinn?
I don't know. Honestly, I was trying to think about that. Like, I think we traveled a lot more, you know,
Right?
we probably hung out with friends more. We
Okay.
ate, we went to restaurants, like those
But
types
none
of
of those are
things.
defined hobbies that you said, like, yes, I spent my time by myself playing the guitar,
Right.
horseback riding.
So this has been a
playing
problem
tennis.
of mine for a long time.
Yes, I only say this because I have the same problem. I get this from you that you're ambitious, that you know, like
Yeah.
you're type A.
Yeah.
I often have found myself in a place of not knowing what my hobbies are. And the first time was when I sold my first company. I woke up the night and I'm like, what do I do now? And I became depressed. It's like I had no purpose because
Right.
I didn't know really what to do for me. And
Because you think your career is your hobby.
it's my identity.
That is what you are doing for yourself.
But it's not true.
But it's not. Yeah.
But it's not wrong. Right now, you're filling your space with something that is your daughter, and it's joyful and it's perfect. And as long as you don't feel like you're lacking, then girl, let it ride, because I haven't had a fucking hobby in so long, and I have been soul searching for one
Yeah.
for a long time.
Honestly, a friend of mine was like, why don't you we could take sommelier classes
Yes!
and combine like our
That's
love
so
for wine,
you.
but with like a hobby and education.
Yeah.
But yeah, your point about like, when's the last time you did something that didn't involve anyone else? Mm-hmm. And I don't, like exercise, that's not a hobby.
No.
That can't count as like a thing you do just for yourself. And, you know, maybe this was how you found like your career, but when I had a career that I worked for someone else, my side hustle, what I did on the weekends, what I did in my free time was trying to do my passion.
Yeah.
You know, when I moved to LA, it was trying to, if I wanted to be a screenwriter, then I had to be writing scripts after hours. And that was my hobby. And making videos was my hobby. And now it's my career. My hobby became my career. So now I don't have a hobby.
I think that's a really beautiful transition period for yourself, right? Like, not a lot of people can make their passion or their hobby their career. And this is a really cool place for you to figure out you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it might not be until she's like 2.
Okay.
You know, like I will say the toddler age is fun, because now I'll start my stretches with Lyle in the morning, and she like does them with me, and I'm like, yeah, you should know how to stretch,
Right.
girl. Like, let's go.
You know, have you ever seen how flexible babies are? And
Oh
then
my
you're
God.
like, when did we lose that?
No, today I put her toes went above her own head, and she thought it was so funny.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, let me do that.
Yeah. No.
Not funny.
I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe she should keep stretching. Like, because at one point in our lives, we completely lose the ability to be that flexible.
Yeah. So I think you'll find a time, again, working out, we're using this as putting this in the same sentence as hobby. It's not the same thing. But you'll find a time when she's old enough to do whatever workouts you want, and she might watch you, and she's going to be so encouraged and empowered.
That's the other thing, is like, I want her to see, you know, her parents doing healthy behaviors for themselves, like working out to better themselves. I want her to see those routines.
Guess what? If it's not you, you did say your husband gets on the treadmill.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's right.
She's going to get it from someone now.
I'm like, good. You put in the work. I need her to have can you set a good example today? I'm
Right.
tired. I need
It's not me.
You need to work out for our daughter. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to use that. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Listen, cheers to motherhood.
Cheers.
This has been
Cathartic.
a wonderful conversation.
Yeah, thank you so
I wish
much.
we could make it longer.
Yeah.
Tell everyone where they can find you.
At the bar, the wine bar, usually. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Anywhere there are videos except Snapchat. That place scares me. I tried.
Yeah, that's
I
rough.
can't figure it out. It makes me feel so old.
They also have like tracking on Snapchat. Maybe you can turn
What do you
that
mean?
off.
Tracking where people can see your location?
My kids can see a map of all their friends. Girl, don't do it.
Okay.
It's wild.
No phones till she's 50.
Right.
No social media till she's 50. But yeah, I'm all over social media with Loryn, Loryn spelled very strange, Powell.
I love it. I'm so happy I could build this platform for you today to come on and test our wine.
Oh my God, it's so good. Thank you for making delicious wine.
Yeah, you're welcome.